guys, I had to pick up Elvis.
On our journey to review every single episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark, this is episode 5 of season 1, The Tale of the Hungry Hounds. And this is one that's told by Kristen. Of course it's told by Kristen. She's quickly becoming the leader of this midnight society. Forget about Gary. Kristen's here and she's here to take over. And you can see in this series that they are quickly making Kristen become the most popular character. She's probably the one people remember the most out of this series. She also went on to have a really good career. Kristen's played by Rachel Blanchard, who is of course a child actor, actually appearing in the series War of the Worlds before Are You Afraid of the Dark premiered. And you've probably seen her in something. She played Cher in the TV series Clueless. I remember watching that TV series and being confused. There's some of the other characters from the movie, but where's Alicia Silverstone? She's nowhere to be found in the series. Well, Rachel Blanchard played the Alicia Silverstone character. And more recently, starring in the 2024 movie Uno and the TV series The Summer I Turned Pretty. So unlike a lot of the other child actors that we'll go over in Are You Afraid of the Dark, her career is still going at 49 years old. Go Kristen, or Rachel, whatever your name is. So Kristen's stories tend to be fairy tales and ghost stories.
I call this story Tale of the Hungry Hounds.
And this one is more fairy tale, but it does have a scary scene towards the end, with a character Pam who's going through her mother's attic, who invites her cousin Amy over, and immediately they see a ghost. And we get our first jump scare. And then as they continue rummaging through this attic, they find a picture of a girl riding a horse that looks a lot like Pam. And Pam has always wanted to learn how to ride horses, but her mom won't let her. Oh man, Mom, just let me be free. And so we get a Chronicles of Narnia situation here. You know, for a kid's show, this is quite a complicated episode. We see very many scenes between Pam and Amy, and they're going to be transported back to the past. But the way they do this is a bit convoluted. They bring out a Ouija board, they get some numbers on the Ouija board, then they open this combination lock on a chest, and they see the ghost of their Aunt Dora, and Pam begins to put on her aunt's old horseback riding clothes, because she always wanted to ride horses just like her aunt. And then Pam walks to a window and goes through it just like the Chronicles of Narnia, and they get transported into an unknown location. Really convoluted way to have them get transported back into the past. But it makes it nice to watch as an adult, where you go, wow, they could have just said, there's a magic amulet, and if you put it to your head, it transports you back in time. It's like, no. You're doing Ouija boards, you're doing combinations. They're making it seem that this is a very hard thing to unlock, which would actually make sense. And then we get the worst scene of the episode. So at this point, Pam loves riding, and there's a ghost of their Aunt Dora. But you get this very long scene where they're just walking in the woods, and you have no idea what's going on or where this episode is going. And you're getting close to 15 minutes into this episode. It's like, are they just gonna walk in the woods the entire time and talk? Where's the hounds? We have Ouija boards, we have horseback riding, we have a ghost, but this is the Hungry Hounds. Then finally they stop walking and get greeted by a ghost that tells her they need to feed the hounds. Oh, it sounds like a great chore. And this ghost believes that Pam is really her Aunt Dora, since it seems like when she put on her old uniform, she actually became Aunt Dora. And this isn't really 1992, bro. This is 1963. Oh my goodness. They can't play Super Nintendo or listen to New Kids on the Block. What are they going to do? And so they get led to this barn, and finally we see the hounds. And this scene is quite scary. You hear their rumbling, growling. I was wondering, are we actually going to see the hounds? Or are they just going to be something that's kept behind this door? But don't worry. Pam, or Aunt Dora, she's going to let out the hounds. She does have to feed them after all. And finally the door gets unlocked and we do get to see the hounds. But they get saved at the last minute by this fox that they've been mentioning throughout the episode.
Or it might have been another ghost from the family graveyard.
I have to feed the hounds. Oh, don't get strange on me again, please. Don't open that door!
So I think Tale of the Hungry Hounds is a decent episode. Oh, should I say they escape? They don't die. So I think this is a decent episode, but with that scene where they're walking through the woods, just padding out time, and for a bit of a convoluted and disjointed story, I can imagine watching this as a kid and just being absolutely confused. You have a ghost of an old aunt, you have this fox that keeps getting mentioned, you have the hounds at the end, you have them talking about horseback riding, doing a Ouija board for a second. trying on clothes. They do a lot during this episode, with the exception of them when they're walking through the woods. So credit to Are You Afraid of the Dark for not being afraid to do some deeper storytelling. I've been covering Tales from the Dark Side, and this episode is more complicated than virtually any Tales from the Dark Side episode. The fox that saves him at the end is called Mon Petit Rogue. You think it'd be called like Cute Fox or something, but no. Sounds like a French dressing. And the character Pan was played by Mia Kirshner, who was in The Crow. Well, the sequel, City of Angels. That's Sarah. And not another teen movie is Catherine? Oh, that movie ruled. This episode was directed by DJ McHale, who will go on to direct 20 episodes of Are You Afraid of the Dark? He also wrote the Pendragon books. And the director DJ McHale actually mentioned that this episode was filmed near an arboretum. I think I said that right. It's like a botanical garden. Which had strict restrictions that included not to kill the mosquitoes. And Mira Kirshner, the girl who played Pan, found it hard to stay in character when a mosquito landed on her nose. I don't think they're really going to be paying that close attention in 1992. Some mosquito lands on my nose, it's getting freaking swatted. I don't care if there's a botanical garden. Let's read a review. This person gave it a 9 out of 10 for the horse girl within us all. Do you have a horse girl? I don't think I do. I don't know about you, but there's a horse girl within me that is dying to be let free. That same part of me also might have forgotten to feed some hounds. Leave it to Kristen to tell a story about a horse girl that ends up being more about dogs. That's true, they mention horses all the time, and that doesn't really come into play except for that her aunt was a horseback rider. I guess Tell the Hungry Horses would be harder to pull off logistically. It's like a haunted Saddle Club episode, but honestly, it works really well, very atmospheric, slightly interdimensional, pretty spooky, it's all over the place. Packs a whole lot in under 30 minutes, that's an understatement. I think Kristen's stories are going to be fun because she seems kind of materialistic, but also deeper than one might expect because of this. So I imagine you can expect her stories to have a sort of materialistic, fairly girly kind of feel. I'm thinking a tween VC Andrews with a paranormal twist, so I will say I love this episode. Go Kristen. But the part with the hounds is probably the scariest thing we've seen in Are You Afraid of the Dark to this point, at least an extended scary scene, though that clown was kind of freaky. Next up, Are You Afraid of the Dark goes They Live. They've come here to kick butt and chew bubblegum, and they're all out of gum with the tale of super specs. Episode 6 coming up next week. And check out our playlist for all the other series that we've covered. Tales from the Dark Side, Monsters, Fear Itself, Cowboy Bebop, Pet Shop of Horrors, Mystery Science Theater 3000, and Black Mirror. Thanks a lot.